As I begin to share this story, I must ask a somewhat strange question. Do you think it's possible for a full grown adult person to disappear into thin air completely? Now, not under some magician's act, I mean truly disappear, never to be found again. Or that it's possible that some people seem to disappear into thin air and for no reason at all, they seem to vanish from unlikely places and under unlikely circumstances. In the winter of 2019, a young father named Tyler Davis took a walk and was never seen again. He disappeared from a busy urban center, and his activities were never caught on any of the many cameras that populate the area of his disappearance. Join me for the odd, strange, and mysterious story of Tyler Davis, the man who vanished without a trace for seemingly no reason at all. Tyler and Brittany met in 2013 while working together, and as sometimes happens, the sparks flew and soon they became a couple. Subsequently, in 2017, they married, and their son Aaron came along shortly after. They settled into the community of Wilmington, Ohio, just about 60 miles southwest of Columbus. Then, in 2019, Tyler, who was age 29 at the time, and was also a Wendy's restaurant manager, while Brittany was a bartender, and the couple were planning her upcoming 23rd birthday. By all accounts, they seemed to have a solid marriage and a happy home, despite their grueling work schedules. Tyler seemed to love being both a husband and a father, and Brittany loved being both a mother and a wife to Tyler. February 23, 2019 was Brittany's birthday. To celebrate, Tyler and Brittany dropped Aaron off at his grandparents' and booked a room at the Hilton Hotel at Easton Town Center in Columbus, Ohio. The Easton Town Center was an exciting location because it had 270 shops and stores, 75 restaurants and bars, condos and townhomes. It even had a spa where the couple planned and booked a couple's massage the following morning. It was the first time they had ever visited Columbus, Ohio. That night they invited a few friends. One by one, many of the friends canceled, except for Sean Hughes, one of Tyler's old college friends, who agreed to join the couple at their celebration. At 5 p.m., Tyler and Brittany checked into their hotel. They then met up with Sean and got dinner. At 8:30 p.m., they walked to Bar Louie for drinks. At 10:19, they closed out their tab at Bar Louie and wandered to Adobe, a bar and grill where they'd opened up another tab and had some more drinks. At 11:30, they closed that tab. They were going to get an Uber back to the hotel, but Brittany told them that she wanted to go to the Dollhouse, a notorious Columbus strip club. They arrived at the Dollhouse at 12:45 a.m. They stayed until closing at 3 a.m. At one point, Brittany went to the bathroom. She came back to find Tyler and Sean locked in an argument with the bouncers. The bouncers seemed to think that Tyler and Sean were trying to hang around after closing to harass the dancers. Tyler kept trying to explain that his wife was in the bathroom. When she emerged, the bouncers relaxed and the trio left. At 3 a.m., they got into an Uber. At 3:18, their Uber pulled up in front of the hotel. It's at that point where the evening changes and things get weird. Tyler and Brittany fell asleep almost as soon as they had gotten into the Uber. Tyler had just gotten off a 6-day work week, and they were both parenting a toddler. The drinks and the exhaustion had apparently done their work. Simple enough. But when Sean tried to wake Tyler and Brittany, Tyler got angry and was obviously confused. He kept insisting that they were at the wrong hotel and that they weren't supposed to be at the Hilton, that they were supposed to be somewhere else. After losing his temper, he just took off walking. Brittany's phone was about to die, and so Sean sent her upstairs to charge her phone while he went after Tyler. Sean would later mention that he was used to seeing Tyler get drunk and storm off, something Brittany might not have seen before, since neither Tyler nor Brittany were heavy drinkers when they were at home, living their lives and meeting their responsibilities. Between 3:20 and 3:30, Brittany kept calling Tyler and Sean. Neither of them answered. Tyler and Sean walked south. Apparently they had an argument or a disagreement of some sort. At 3:30, Tyler called Brittany saying that he was taking a walk and he would be right back. Sean returned to the hotel alone. He told Brittany that Tyler just needed a minute, that he'd be fine. Tyler called Brittany again at 3:37, saying that he was sorry, he was smoking a cigarette, and that he was on his way back to the hotel. At 3:51, Tyler attempted to put the hotel into his GPS, an indication that he certainly did intend to return. Tyler called again around 4:03 a.m. He said that he saw the hotel and that he was walking through the woods. He said he'd be right there. 2 minutes later, Brittany's phone rang again. It was Tyler. When she answered this time, she only heard a few seconds of empty air when the phone cut off. She tried to call Tyler back numerous times, but at this point, his phone was either off or dead. He'd had a low battery since the time the trio was at the dollhouse. At 4:30, Sean apparently gave up waiting, left, and went home. He'd only lived about 10 minutes away. After Sean left the hotel, he never again joined in any search for Tyler Davis. He later told the police he just wasn't interested in chasing a drunken Tyler around all night. Easton Town Center was a highly populated area full of businesses, video cameras, and people. Traffic was low in the dead of night, but it seemed hard to believe that someone could simply disappear under those conditions. Thanks to digital cell phone forensics, we have a solid idea of the route that Tyler took. It winds through suburban areas and then to a wooded area near the hotel. He walked through the nearby Huntington Bank complex on Stelzer Road. He also wandered over by Abbott Labs at one point. Forensic cell phone records indicate that Tyler entered a voiced prompt that said, "Take me to Easton Suites" on his smartphone. So it's apparent that he was trying to make his way back home. While nothing around Easton Town Center could truly be described as woods, there are plenty of zones that are wooded. The area directly to the south of Easton Town Center is even a very marshy, very wet area full of thick vegetation and waist-deep water, places where it would have been very easy for an intoxicated person to drown. If Tyler was confused and intoxicated, then it would have been easy for him to mistake them for woods, or to call them woods, for lack of a better word. Brittany herself said in one interview that Tyler wasn't much of an outdoorsman and might just be known to refer to any grouping of trees as woods, even if there were only two trees close to one another. I've already mentioned the wet and marshy areas. In truth, there were plenty of other hazards in the area surrounding Easton Town Center. Some of these theories and suggestions might seem far-fetched, but I thought of including them in this story just to provide some answers if possible. One of them was a sewer grate and manhole cover that could have been directly in Tyler's path had he cut across Stelzer Road heading directly to the hotel. If there was any chance that either of these were open that night, Tyler might not have seen them. He could possibly have fallen into the sewers. This potential hiding place might have been missed while police dredged waterways and cadaver dogs wouldn't have been searching there. If a work crew came out later in the day and closed the grate or the manhole cover, they might not have thought to volunteer the information that the hole or holes had been opened simply because it might have created liability issues for both them and their company. Or just simply, this could have been nothing more than a less than obvious relationship to Tyler's missing status. Of course, many of the hazards could have come from other people. Easton Town Center itself and the surrounding area was a hot spot for robberies and crimes. Tyler was also a drunken man wandering around in a high-traffic area. If a car hit him at just the right intersection, one with no cameras, then the answer could be a hit and run. A driver might have killed him and panicked, perhaps even taken off with Tyler's body to dump it somewhere else. Crazier things have happened, right? Thanks to the eerie parallels between Tyler's disappearance and another young man's Columbus area disappearance, a young man by the name of Brian Schaefer, there is even a rumor that Tyler ran afoul of a group of killers known as the Smiley Face Gang, a supposed gang of serial killers so named because they are supposed to tag an area around the victim with a bit of a smiley face graffiti before they leave the scene of the crime. All anyone knows for sure is that he probably did not disappear on purpose. Like so many who simply walk out of their lives daily, he probably didn't commit suicide. He probably didn't wander off in a fugue or a fit of amnesia. Whether it was due to a terrible accident or foul play, Tyler probably didn't survive his fateful walk. At the time Sean left, Brittany was worried. She began walking around to look for Tyler herself. While she called various friends to ask for advice, only one of her friends picked her up, and together they kept searching. By 10:30 a.m., Brittany had gotten worried enough to call the police. Initially, the police ignored her cries for help, stating that a 29-year-old man had every right to disappear if he wanted to. Tyler's parents turned up to help instead. The three of them combed the wooded areas until Tyler's dad sent her home to pick up her baby, saying he'd continue the search. Police finally got involved days after Tyler's disappearance on February 27th. Once they did, they pulled out all stops. The prevailing theory was that Tyler had drunkenly passed out or fallen into a body of water, so they searched every pond and waterway within the vicinity. They didn't find anything. Cadaver dogs found nothing. Helicopters found nothing. Brittany put out over 2,000 flyers with Tyler's picture on it, but nobody had seen him. On December 15th, 2021, a judge finally declared Tyler legally dead. Do you believe he is really dead, or has something even stranger happened to him? The investigation into Tyler Davis's disappearance is still open. It has continued to fascinate the true crime community, sometimes with dire results. Both Brittany and Sean have been doxxed and harassed over the years, with numerous armchair detectives speculating and spinning out any number of dire, dark motives for a crime that doesn't seem to have much evidence to back them up. Brittany did take and pass a lie detector test. Brittany even said that her address and phone number were released online, and even her job received phone calls from people who knew about the case. Sean did eventually retain an attorney. He refused the polygraph, though any defense lawyer will tell you that since polygraphs are not admissible in court, they aren't worth taking and can actually harm any case against you. It is, of course, not clear that there's any case to be had anyway, and no proof that could link either Brittany or Sean to any untoward behavior with Tyler. Will the Davis family wait for answers forever, or will someone someday step forward with the truth? Tyler Davis is described as a Caucasian male, 5'9" and 175 to 195 pounds. He was last seen wearing a green and blue flannel shirt, a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and older Nike sneakers. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Tyler also has a prominent red birthmark on his right arm that extends from his hand to his neck and chest. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of Tyler Davis or anything else on this case, please call the Columbus Police Department at 614-645-4545. Do you have any additional insights into Tyler's odd disappearance? If so, please let me know in the comments below. Please keep in mind that whatever happened to Tyler, there is a young boy left in the aftermath, and that someday, quite possibly, he will want to know what happened to his father. I simply cannot imagine living a life like that little boy. Let's help as best we can to have answers for him. Thank you for listening to this story. My name is Vince. What an incredibly strange set of circumstances around Tyler in this story, right? If you enjoyed this story, I'd like you to consider the story of Tina and Dean also. How their daughter Holly, over 4 decades later, is still struggling to know the truth about her parents. You will find that story in the box in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Click there to hear that story. Thank you so much.